Keep me young and make me strong.
Before I proceed with the content of the presentation, I will explain first about the definitions of human resource planning. Human resource planning is the process of forecasting the future of human resource requirements of the organizations and determining as to how the existing human resource capacity of the organization can be utilized to fulfill these requirements. Human resource planning thus help the organizations in many ways as considering the organization goals. Human resource planning allows the identification, selection, and development of required talent or competency within the organization.
The first importance of human resource planning is to develop well-trained and flexible workforce. Training and development needs can be met in a variety of ways. A versatile workforce defines staff that are configured when appropriate. Depending on the nature of your company, this versatility can be meant by several things. It may mean recruiting several temporary workers for a boost in sales for a certain organization. Before an organization deems a training program to be a strategic interest, it must determine whether or not the training is truly strategic. If an organization intends to make training a core component of its competitive strategy, it needs to provide performance improvement and competitive advantage. Flexible working, also known as a flex time or flexi time, which refers to the non-traditional working arrangement that takes into account an individual's personal needs, often involving some degree of working from home. Some of the benefits of flexible working for employees includes a better work-life balance, lower levels of absence, and lower levels of stress. The second importance of the human resource planning is to obtain and retain the number of people that the organization needs, such as skills, expertise, competence, through the succession planning strategies. Succession planning is a method of talent management that creates a pool of qualified staff who are prepared to play key positions as leaders and other key employees step down. Organization with succession planning strategies in place by hiring professional employees and top talent promote a talent-oriented community. The third importance of human resource planning is coping with changes. Changes in the climate such as globalization, technology, policy rules, global market, and so on bring changes in the essence of the work. This implies changes in staffing standards, work materials, skills, and required experience. Human resource planning is helping the company adapt to new development. These changes will bring a big impact on the organization, which will help the organization to go on as time went on and in keeping with today's technology. Some of the main challenges of HR administrators is to bring about improvement in organizational process and practices, to enforce it and then handle it. That's all from me. Thank you.
As we noted that the human resource planning is the process of understanding the needs of the company and making any necessary changes to meet the company goals and objectives. Due to the importance of human resource planning, the company or organization needs to have the strategies in ensuring that the companies have a sufficient number of qualified employees. The first example of strategies is training. Training is the organized procedure by which people learn knowledge and or skill for a definite purpose. Training refers to the teaching and learning activities that carry on for the primary purpose of helping the members of an organization that acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, abilities, and attitudes that are needed by the particular job and organization. By having a training, it can go with the employee's conditions with the job requirements and organizational needs. Next, performance coaching and feedback. It is one of the many strategies in ensuring that companies have a sufficient number of qualified employees. Coaching in its simplest form means to train, tutor, or give instruction. It is an excellent skill that can be used to enhance growth and performance as well as promote individual responsibility and accountability. Performance coaching can help identify an employee's growth as well as help plan and develop new skills. Meanwhile, feedback is the primary tool that used to provide employees with the information and guidance. Feedback consists of two-way communications that are able to sustain qualified employees in an organization.
So, the companies can adopt a new HR strategy to reform a new company's plan, which is to be more successful. This is because with this new human resource strategy, it can help the company to aim fundamentally shift in HR management, which is they do not longer be single track and insular, but rather to emphasize each individual ambitions and independence. So the other example is by fostering a creative and attractive workplace. The companies can enhance incentive which is based on individual job and duties result. With this kind of incentive, it can add more strongly linked to result and medium to long-term corporate value enhancement as a means of drawing up employees' motivation and ambitions to encourage proactive in companies and can produce qualified employees. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to everyone. So the first point is restructuring strategies. When human resource planning strategies is inadequate in the organization, it will affect the existing plan strategies. So the organization must take a step, is fast action to restructuring back their strategies so it can tackle the problem. New planning strategies must be flexible in any condition and could increase the organization performance. As example, for supporting the restructuring strategies of the college, they do three elements, which is reducing the staff by termination or attrition. The second is regrouping the tasks to create well-designed job, and the third is reorganizing work unit to be more effective. So the second point is recruitment strategies. Recruitment is one important process in the organization because it will affect the size, the quality, the number of employees in the organization. So the procedure that be set up by the organization must be followed. So effect of having the inadequate human resource planning strategies is the hiring worker that not meet the criteria and the procedure because they want to hiring as soon as possible because they want to avoid the vacancy being too long and they don't want to take any risk shortage of workers. But this will be the hiring the employee that not meet the quality and standard that organization need. Important to an organization to have the quality, skill and capable employee because it will be a advantage criteria for their organization. So the third point is collaborative strategies. Organization is important to have with the short-term and long-term planning strategies. So collaborative strategies will help the organization that collaborate together with them to share the cost, share the skill and insight. But when having the inadequate human resource planning strategies, the capability for an organization will be invisible and unattractive for other organizations. Besides that, when having human resource planning strategies that are inadequate in the organization will be unstable. So the other organization will not want to collaborate because they also don't want to bear the risk with the collaboration. So organization could lose their opportunity to collaborate with other organization because it will help their organization to gain more knowledge and to grow up and be more stable in the future.
Assalamualaikum to my lecturer, Dr. Karia and all my friends. So the next point is training and development strategy. Training is a program that helps employees learn specific knowledge or skill in their current role to improve their performance, while development is wider and focused on employee growth and future performance rather than immediate job role. The strategy training plans to prepare your manager and employee with the skill they need to efficiently and effectively complete their work tasks and help them achieve the main goal of the business. The strategic training plan not only focuses on improving the quality of work in the present, but it is also developed to make the workforce more competitive in the long run. The purpose of strategic development is to improve the skill which your employee and manager already possess. So, there's a lot of benefit that company can get if they do the training and development strategy. First, it can improve the company performance. When the workers understand their expectation and prepare to meet their work goal, you will find the overall improvement of the company performance in terms of efficiency, quality, and effective. The employee that trained poorly can often make mistakes that longer than well-trained employee to complete their task and cost the company more money. It is not only can slow down the company production and workflow, but it can even damage the reputation of the company when the customers see the impact of product or service quality. So the next point is reduce turnover and absenteeism. The employee may begin to look other company that more satisfied work environment because they feel this company not prepare them for working effectively or do not offer developmental activities that prepare them for advancement. This can give an impact to the company when you lose key employees who are difficult to replace and train, and when the lost employees are particular skilled and experienced. At the same time, poor training and development affect the company daily operation because workers tend to lose their jobs when they feel frustrated at their job, low morale, or find work environment poor. In the short run, this puts pressure on other workers to relieve the shortage of external workers. And in the long run, high absence will hurt your company, lower labor productive, and can adversely affect the morale of the employee and the reputation of the company. So the next point is the higher employee morale also give good impact to the company when they do strategic training and development. If the workers are ready to perform their jobs, you will notice that they are more interested, confident toward the business, have greater job satisfaction, and be more willing to see the company successful. At the same time, when an employee is satisfied with the company, they will be more likely to work harder and collaborate with each other. So the next point is outsourcing strategy. Outsourcing is the business practice of hiring a party outside a company to perform service and create goods that traditionally were performed in-house by company-owned employee and staff. The activity in the organization can be performed better or more cheaply by outside specialists. The outsourcing can improve business performance, such as it can help company focus on business critical tasks and improve employee output. This decreases firefighting behavior and workers can be more effective in day-to-day management and administration when they are not stuck. They do not water down their abilities, position and work. Typically, unwanted processing works by other employee causes it to be completed by the HR manager or individual procurement team. This task may not require full-time workers, but two things will happen, which is the competence of the key workers will suffer and they will be stressed out because the task is outside their professional skill set, so they are not motivated to complete their task. The inefficient and unhappy is not a winning combination for employee when it comes to business performance. Next, the outsourcing can reduce costs in the organization. The bigger cost to a company is the employees. It is not only our salaries a major expense, but the financial and time commitment is substantial when you take it and requiring expense, social insurance, IT suppliers, software license, training, and continued development. That is why it is so important for the employees you are hiring to be able to focus on what they are better at, so the company not suffer loss. So my last point is communication strategy. The communication strategy is a backbone for the organization. This influences the exchange of information between employer and employee. A poor communication technique causes information blockage, which make it impossible for managers to monitor their employees and deliver the orders. The effective communication strategy can maintain connection between people in the organization and also achieve organization goals. So the effective communication strategy in organization is it can improve productivity of the employees. It is improving because it is directly influence the behavior of the employee and the way they perform. The effective communication, which include clear instruction, fast message delivery, and proper explanation, is the key factor to solid cooperation between manager and employees. The poor communication may influence the quality of work as the worker cannot provide their clear information to complete a job assigned to them. It will cause a whole disruptive chain of events because if an individual forgets to remember important facts, it can result in slowing the implementing of a project or in errors or bugs that bring the implementation at risk. This is why maintaining contact with the employee is important. It should improve understanding and increase productivity and performance. As a result, it will help both internally and externally in the organization. So, the next point is the effective communication strategy also impact on the customer satisfaction. The customer satisfaction is one of the main reasons companies can maintain and increase sales. The customers are sensitive not only the price, quality of the goods and service, but also to the way they are delivered. The customer loyalty is one of the company's biggest priorities, whatever their size and market share. The unsatisfied customer can quickly vent their anger through social online review or scolding the employee. They are always the result of poor communication. When such an event occurs, it is because the customer expectations are not met. When customers do not fully understand your process, your method and the privilege of your business, this lack of understanding can cause conflict. This lack communication can lead to bad feedback of the business and will make the company suffer losses because everyone knew what was going on. So the employee should have good communication skill to attract the customer. The good communication skill means the employee is open and honest when delivering the service. The employee must admit the mistake that you do and apologize to the customer. This can make the customer feel calmer and attract them with your good attitude that will raise the company name. Thank you. That's all from me.